here we are. We're ready to go. We are on our second class in Daniel. We're going to do Daniel chapter 2, part 1 today. The chapters in Daniel are long, and I didn't understand how I could do all of the Daniel story in one video. So we are going to do Daniel chapter 2, part 1 today. And we'll do the next part on the next video, and that will work well. All right, so we are going to do chapter 2, and we ended our last class with how Daniel was doing really well, and he had to eat the vegetables, and God blessed him, and everything was great, and Daniel and Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, they seemed to be the best. The king really liked them, and that they stood before the king with wisdom and understanding more than anyone else. So they're just doing a really good job. It might be an uncomfortable situation to be in this foreign country, but God is trying to make it as comfortable as he can for them. Now we're going to start chapter 2. Chapter 2. And in the second year of the reign of Nebuchadnezzar, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed dreams, and his spirit was troubled, and his sleep broke from him. Then the king commanded to call the magicians, and the enchanters, and the sorcerers, and the Chaldeans, to tell the king his dreams. So they came and stood before the king, and the king said to them, I have dreamed a dream, and my spirit is troubled to know the dream. All right, so you can draw Nebuchadnezzar. He's asleep. I'm going to draw Nebuchadnezzar with the big nose, and he's got a beard. And for some reason, he sleeps with his crown on. That might be why he's having such troubled sleep. So you can do like the squinty eyes, and a little bit troubled mouth. And then, let's see, here's his arm and his hand, right? There's his other hand. So it's like he's sleeping and sleeping on his arms. And then I'm going to draw weird dream lines going up.
Mr. Dan.
Yeah?
Can you please move the phone a little?
Yes? That's probably not what you meant, is it? You didn't want me to just shake it around, did you?
No.
So there are his crazy dreams. And I don't know, that's kind of a fun pattern to draw. And that's him dreaming, and he's having a hard time. So he calls magicians and enchanters and sorcerers and Chaldeans, and they are supposed to be able to take this dream of lines. I'm making the dream look like it's lines. So this is what he dreamed, and they're going to say that that equals this message. I'm going to put it like they wrote it down on a scroll, because scrolls are fun to draw. Oh, king, this is what your dream means. That's what they're supposed to do. That's what he's asking them to do, right? Okay. So basically, he's getting the most important and smart people in the land to interpret his dream. Then spoke the Chaldeans to the king in the Syrian language. O king, live forever. I gotta turn the paper over. I have to try to not knock over my phone. O king, live forever. Tell thy servants the dream, and we will show you the interpretation. And so you can draw the Chaldeans and the sorcerers. And so I'm going to draw them with their hands out. And let's see, this one's going to have a beard, but he's going to be bald-headed. He's got his mouth open. La, da, da, da. Tell us the dream. And I'll draw another guy. This guy will be big, hairy-headed, but have no beard, so that they're like opposite. And they have to have their eyes closed, because that makes them look like they're smart. Oh, we have our eyes closed, and we know what we're talking about, right? Because these are the smart guys, and we'll give them feet. All right. There was 4 of them, so I'm going to say that this is numbers 1 and 2, and this is numbers 3 and 4, right? Those are the different guys. And they are selling, tell the dream, and we will show you the interpretation. Okay? And they're telling this to the king, who has a long nose and a big old beard and a crown on his head. And so he's listening to them. The king answered and said to the Chaldeans, "The thing is gone from me. If you make not known unto me the dream and the interpretation thereof, you shall be cut into pieces. Your houses shall be made a dunghill. But if you show me my dream and the interpretation thereof, you shall receive of me gifts and rewards and great honor." Therefore, he said, basically he's asking for two things. Show me the dream and the interpretation of it. So here's what they say. They say, if you tell us the story of your dream, we will tell you what that story means. If Nebuchadnezzar tells them the story of the dream, they will tell him what that story means. But you know what Nebuchadnezzar says? He says, show me the dream. Tell me the dream. If you don't make known to me the dream, then you're in trouble. So he wants them to first tell me the dream, then interpret. Do you know what interpret means?
Like, translate? Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever had a dream and then like, all these weird things happen in the dream, and then somebody could say, oh, well, when you dreamed about the flying ice cream cone, that means that you're afraid of school. I don't know. They're trying to interpret or tell you, translate what the dream means. Well, he doesn't want them to just translate it for him. You know what he asks them to do? Tell me what I dreamed. Can any of you guys tell me what I dreamed last night? Because I forgot my dream. I want you to tell me my dream.
It isn't that fair.
Nope, do it anyways.
It's not that fair to them because he's like, if you can't do the impossible, then I'll cut you up and burn your houses.
All right, so now right here, we're getting lesson number 1 about Nebuchadnezzar. He's bonkers and extreme. Isn't that crazy? If you don't tell me my dream, I'm going to cut you up and I'm going to make your house a dunghill. Do you know what a dunghill is?
Yes.
It's where you pile up the leftover animal poop.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't tell me what I dreamed last night, then I'm going to chop you up into little bits and I'm going to turn your house into animal poop. That's a really extreme situation. Nebuchadnezzar is a really interesting guy. Let's see how they do. Verse 7. They answered the second time and said, let the king tell his servants the dream, and we will show the interpretation. But the king answered and said, I know of certain that you would gain time. You're just trying to get more time, because you see that the thing is gone from me. You see that this is the way I feel. But if you make not known unto me the dream, there is but one law for you, for you've prepared lying and corrupt words to speak before me, till the time be changed. Therefore, tell me the dream, and I will show, and I shall know that you can show me the interpretation thereof. This is his thinking. All right, so first let's draw Nebuchadnezzar being proud of himself. Oh, that's not, I give him a long nose, so I want him to have a long nose. So here he is. Oh, wake up phone. He's got his crown on his head with his little doodly boppers on, and then I'm going to draw him that his arms are crossed. Ha, 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 you try to figure this out. And his chest is puffed up, like, I know what I'm doing. He's smart, okay? He says, I know you're just trying to gain time. And he says, if I tell you, then you're going to prepare a lie, and you're going to prepare corrupt words to me. He says, basically he says, if you can tell me the dream, I shall know that you can show me the interpretation of the dream. Basically what he's saying, if you can tell me what I dreamed last night, then I can believe you. But if I have to tell you the dream, maybe you're a cheater and a liar. Basically, he's asking for a miracle to prove it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's a really extreme request. It's a little bit clever, but it's kind of extreme. All right, we'll keep reading.
I drew a smirk on his face.
Oh, good. I love smirks. The Chaldeans answered before the king, "There is not a man upon the earth that can show the king's matter. Forasmuch as no king, lord, or ruler have asked such a thing of a magician or an enchanter of a Chaldean. And it is a rare thing that the king requires, and there is none that can show it before the king except the gods, whose dwelling is not with flesh." So while the king is smirking, how do you think these guys feel?
Scared?
They're scared. Oh no. And then the other guy, the other guy had big hair and a big and no beard on his chin.
Why didn't you draw them biting their nails?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Biting their nails.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea. And his other hand's there. And their knees are knocking, right?
Yeah, probably.
For some reason, when you're scared, your knees start knocking.
If you like lead.
And he's covering himself up like, "Oh no, don't turn my house into a dunghill." They're scared. And the king's like, "Yeah, I gotcha." I'm going to even put that.
Like, you should be scared.
Gotcha. Right, you should be scared. You're not going to be able to fool me this time. He's happy. Okay. Y'all can keep drawing the scared dudes, and I'm going to keep reading. For this cause the king was angry. We should count how many times Nebuchadnezzar gets angry in this book. Anger equals 1. All right, anger equals 1. We'll see how many times he gets angry. For this cause, now, has he been angry yet? I don't think so, right? I don't think so. Okay, all right. For this cause, the king was angry and very furious. Maybe we should put another anger thing up, because anger and furious, just to show how angry this guy gets. He was angry and very furious and commanded to destroy all the wise men of Babylon. If you destroy all the wise men, then that means all that you have left are the dumb men. So this doesn't sound so smart. So the decree went forth, and the wise men were to be slain, which is just a very polite word for killed. You can draw a sword sticking out of them, right? That's what's going to happen. All right. And they sought Daniel and his companions to be slain. Wait a minute. Why are they going to kill Daniel and Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah?
Oh, because they mastered in all the school.
Right. Daniel and Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah weren't there when this was happening, but they are some of the wise men now. So he's not just going to kill the ones that might have lied. He's going to kill them all. Nebuchadnezzar, calm down, son. All right, we'll get back to the story. Poor Daniel. I guess he's going to die in chapter 2 of his own book. Then Daniel returned answer with counsel and prudence to Arioch, captain of the king's guard. He's answering with counsel and prudence. He's being polite. He's being careful. He's being wise, which had gone forth to slay all the wise men of Babylon. And he answered and said to Arioch, the king's captain, "Why is the decree so urgent from the king?" Then Arioch made the thing known to Daniel. And Daniel went in and desired of the king that he would appoint him a time, and he would show the king the interpretation. What is Daniel saying he can do?
Interpret the dream.
Yeah, Daniel says, well, I'll do it. I'll do it. I wonder how. Let's figure out how Daniel manages to do it. Then Daniel went into his house and made the thing known and told it to Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, his companions, that they would desire mercies of the God of heaven concerning the secret. What does that mean? That they would desire mercies of the God of heaven concerning this secret?
That they have to keep it secret. They can't tell anyone.
That's a good guess, but that's not what it is. The secret is Nebuchadnezzar has a dream locked up in his head, right? Right inside here is the secret. Okay? And so they are going to, I'm going to read this whole sentence and we'll talk about it. They would desire the mercies of the God of heaven concerning this secret, that Daniel and his companions should not perish with the rest of the men of Babylon. So they are going to figure out what the secret is. What was the dream so that they can interpret it, right? How are they going to figure it out? They're going to, this is an old-fashioned phrase, desire mercies of the God of heaven. What does it mean to desire mercies of the God of heaven? What does that sound like? God is merciful, right?
Are they asking for mercy?
Yes. They're asking. They're not just, oh, I wish we had mercy. That's desiring, right? No, they're asking God for mercy. How do you ask God for mercy?
You pray.
You pray. That's exactly right. So he went back to his house, and Daniel and his buddies, they start praying really hard, I bet. Oh man, that's a terrible prayer. Okay, so there's his face, there's his hands, and then there's the hands in prayer. Okay, that's how we're gonna do praying. I'm not very good at drawing praying. Praying is hard for me. Well, saying prayers isn't always hard, but drawing prayers is hard. Maybe it's because I've always got my eyes closed and not looking at people. So there they are. They're praying and they're praying and they're praying and they're praying and they're praying. And what are they praying about? What's the secret?
Mercy?
Well, they're praying for mercy. They want mercy so that they don't die. But the only way they can not die is if they can figure out what the dream is. And how can they figure out the dream? Are they smart enough to just guess?
No. They have to have God's help.
They have to have God's help. So they're praying for mercy. We don't want to die. Can you tell us the dream? Then was the secret revealed unto Daniel in a vision of the night. Then Daniel blessed the God of heaven. They prayed for it, and God told them what it was. And so Daniel blesses God. What do you think that means?
He praises him.
He praises him. And Daniel answered and said, blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his. He changes the times and the seasons. He removes kings and sets up kings. He gives wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding. He reveals the deep secret things. He knows what is in the darkness, and the light dwells with him. I thank thee and praise thee, O thou God of my fathers, who has given me wisdom and might, and has made known unto me what we desired of thee, for thou hast made known unto us the king's matter. That's a cool prayer. There's a lot of good stuff in that prayer. Blessed be God. He has wisdom and might. He changes things. He sets up the seasons. He sets up the kings. He gives wisdom. He reveals deep secret things. He knows what's in. This is a cool line. Think about this. I'm going to do another color so that it stands out. Now I'll just do lots of yellow. He knows what's in the darkness, and the light dwells in him. Think about that. If there's a dark place and people are hiding from God, God knows what's in there. God knows. Does that mean God is a dark, ugly God? No. God is a God of light. I'm going to draw a light bulb. Although they're LED light bulbs, but you get the idea. God is a God of light. But just because he's a God of light doesn't mean he doesn't know what's going on in the secret places. This is a good prayer, guys. This is a good prayer. You could copy it out. You could use it for your own prayers. Even though you aren't learning Nebuchadnezzar's dreams by God, you can still pray it. All right, so I'm going to keep reading, okay, guys? Therefore Daniel went unto Arioch, whom the king had appointed to destroy the wise men of Babylon. He went and said thus to him, Destroy not the wise men of Babylon. Bring me before the king, and I will show unto the king the interpretation. So Daniel, I can't remember how we drew Daniel. Maybe we drew him with a big kind of fat face yesterday. Here's Daniel. He says, I got it. Bring me to the king, and I will show it to him. I don't know why I'm drawing Daniel so pudgy and funny looking. Oh, well. Then Arioch brought in Daniel before the king in haste. You better believe he was hurrying up, right? Because he doesn't want everyone to die. And thus said to him, I have found a man of the children of the captivity of Judah that will make known unto the king the interpretation. That's what his voice sounded like. The king answered and said unto Daniel, whose name was Belteshazzar, Art thou able to make known unto me the dream which I have seen and the interpretation thereof? So Nebuchadnezzar, he's still saying, look, you got to tell me all of it. You got to tell me what I dreamed, and you got to tell me what the interpretation is. So is Nebuchadnezzar easing off? No. So he's pointing up to Daniel, saying, you still got to do it the right way. Huh. Look at Daniel's answer. I think this is so cool. We'll draw this on the board in the back. Daniel answered before the king and said, the secret which the king has demanded can neither wise men, enchanters, magicians, nor soothsayers show to the king. But there is a God in heaven that reveals secrets. He has, let me get the page ready. He has made known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. Your dream and the visions of your head upon your bed are these. As for thee, O king, your thoughts came into the mind upon thy bed. What should pass hereafter? What's going to happen in the future, in the hereafter? And he has revealed secrets and has made known to you what shall come to pass, what's going to happen in the future. But as for me, this secret is not revealed to me for any wisdom that I have more than any living, but to the intent that my interpretation may be known to the king, and that thou mayest know the thoughts of my heart. Okay, we're going to stop there. And actually, this is where we're going to stop and pick up tomorrow. Or, well, in our next class. It's not tomorrow. But I'm going to draw it back here. So this is what's going on. Daniel gives, okay, was Daniel's answer long and wordy? Nebuchadnezzar said, can you tell me the interpretation and tell me the dream? Daniel could have said yes or no, but he gave a long answer. I think it's because Daniel's wise and he's giving a long, complicated answer. All right, but now we're going to draw Daniel and Nebuchadnezzar. And we'll probably end with these drawings. I'm going to draw Nebuchadnezzar in purple because he's royal.
Why not red?
There's Nebuchadnezzar. He's huge. Oh my goodness. I didn't know Nebuchadnezzar was that big. Here's Daniel. Maybe I should give Nebuchadnezzar some long legs. All right, so now they're the same height. They're just wearing different clothes. Okay. So Daniel is talking to Nebuchadnezzar. Daniel is talking to Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar, he wants, tell me the dream and then tell me what it means. He wants both. Tell the dream story and tell me what the story means. And he asks Daniel, Daniel, can you do that? Can you tell me the dream and tell me what it means? And Daniel gives a funny, long, complicated answer, and I love it because Daniel shows himself to be a humble, good guy. Daniel says, this secret, I know what I'll do. We'll do it in green. Here's the secret, right? What was the dream? Nobody knows what the dream is. Daniel says, nobody can figure out that secret. It's impossible for a person to do it. He says, neither wise men nor enchanters, magicians, or soothsayers can do it. But there is someone who can. Who can?
God.
God. God can. I'll do God with red. But there is a God in heaven. And Daniel is going to start teaching Nebuchadnezzar about the God in heaven. Think about this. Daniel isn't just teaching his boss about God. Daniel is teaching the king about God. And Nebuchadnezzar isn't just some king. He's the king that's conquering everything on earth. He's kind of the most important, powerful man on the globe. And he is telling Nebuchadnezzar, no one can do what you say. But there's a God. There's a God in heaven. There's a God in heaven that reveals secrets. And that God has revealed secrets to you, Nebuchadnezzar. And that God can tell me what those secrets are. Isn't that cool? So when Nebuchadnezzar asks Daniel, can you do this? Can you do this, Daniel? What is Daniel's answer?
No one can on earth, but God can in heaven.
Right. Daniel basically says, no, I can't do it, but God can. Now, here is something funny. Had God already told it to Daniel? He got it in a vision last night. So when Nebuchadnezzar said, can you tell me my dream? Daniel could have said yes. Is it true? Daniel can say yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he knew the dream.
He decided to give the credit to God.
That's it. Isn't that cool? Wow. He is always thinking about God. That's how much he cares about God. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget that what I can do, I'm a good Bible teacher and I wear a bow tie. Do you know why I'm a good Bible teacher? Because God's helped me learn his word. And who cares about bow ties? Nobody does. God helped me understand his Bible, his word, his stories. God helped me. I like to practice drawing, but part of that is a talent from God. And God helped me put those things together. And now we can have a great Bible class. But it's not because of me. It's not me. It's because of God. All right. We are going to pick up right there next time. And we will, next Bible class is just going to look at what was the dream story and what does the dream story mean. Now, I will give you 35,000 extra credit points if you read the rest of chapter 2 on your own. I don't know what you'll be able to do with those extra credit points, but 35,000 points is a lot of points. Right now, I only have 2, so I have to go dig some up out of the yard, but I'll get them ready for you. All right. Do you guys have any questions about the story before we close off?
Yes. No.
What's your question?
I know what the dreams are.
You already know. Cool. Any questions about this, though? Yes, Eva?
I have my picture.
Why couldn't he tell the dream?
Why couldn't Daniel do it? because Daniel, okay, God told it to Daniel. And Daniel didn't want to say, oh, I know it because I'm a cool guy. My name's Daniel, right? My name's Daniel and I know everything. No, the only reason I know anything is because a teacher taught me. I read God's word. I had good parents. I went to school. Did I do all that by myself?
No.
No. And so if I say, oh, I can do things all by myself, the reality is I had a lot of help. And so Daniel is saying, when Daniel says, I can't do it, nobody can do it, the point is, the only reason I can tell you the dream, Nebuchadnezzar, is because I got help from God. And he's just trying to be humble. Good question.
Mr.
All
Dan.
right, guys, that's going to be it for now. And I will see y'all soon. Take care.